Lockdowns, lockdowns, lockdowns. Oh, it's painful to watch all these businesses fail. And when I get these emails, I get so many emails, and I'm dealing with people that are struggling, and it's like you can't, like, there's some stuff that you can't just help. You can't, because the government is just not doing their part. We understand there needs to be lockdowns, fine. Do them right. Support small business. That's what we're talking about today. I got an email and I'm going to share that with you guys. Roll it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com, where we strive to make a video each and every week to get you thinking and moving in the right direction. So hit subscribe. Well, today is a day where I'm kind of just frustrated. I've had about 4 or 5 emails, and they all go along the lines of this. Hi, Nikos, my business is failing. That's how it starts. And they usually start around like that. And I was wondering, what would you do if you had a business during lockdown that was failing? I have a hair salon and launched an online store, but no traction yet. It feels like I lost my money even at trying that. So, and the email goes on. She gives a little bit more description, and this is the thing here. I get these emails, and I look at them and I go, how can I help? There's not much you can do depending on what is occurring with the government shutdowns, what's happening with these lockdowns, how are these lockdowns affecting everybody, and how these really progress with time. We don't know what the planning is 100%. And then we don't know what's going to happen with the loan structures that they're going to, continue to give or not give. We don't know what is in the plan. Now, when you look at it from a perspective of big business, they know. Okay, somebody like Bell Canada, like the telecommunications, gets 100 and whatever, 20-some million dollars. I think it was 118 or 122. And then they can go ahead. They know they're going to get more money at some point, I guess. They've already figured it out. And, they go lay off a whole bunch of people. That's okay. But the small business person like this with a hair salon, it's just like you get these emails and it's like, how do you help somebody like this when you know they don't have funds to do anything? In this case, this person, and I know, like, if they're probably going to watch this because I'm going to email them back. This person really screwed up. They screwed up, and not because it's their fault. It's because of the what's happening in our economy, what's happening with the government, what's happening with online, and everybody trying to push this narrative. As she went and opened up an online store, an e-commerce store, so she spent money for that, and then she goes, "I'm not making any money." And it's like, well, yeah, you're not going to make any money. Why do you think that you can open up an online store and all of a sudden a money tree is going to, come up and you're going to just like pull money? It doesn't work that way. And I try to explain this to people and try to put this in perspective, and it's so hard because they've been sold a different story. And then the actual story of Nikos comes into play and goes, here's your reality. And they're like, you're like smacking me in the face now. Like, what the hell? Like, why are you giving me this reality? Like, so, and it's like, I have to. People have come up to me and they've spent $20, $30, $40,000 on e-commerce stores. And then I'm like, well, who's going to come? We need advertising money. Oh, well, we don't have any more budget. Well, what do you want to do? And this is where this is frustrating, and this is why I'm making this video, because I want people to put this into perspective when they watch this and when they share it with their friends, to the people they know are struggling. Okay, if your business is failing right now due to the lockdowns and there's nothing you can do, you need to look at it in a realistic perspective and ask yourself, what is the best case scenario for you? You need to go get advice on somebody who's going to be unbiased, because you are biased. That's one. And then you need to look at this idea of time, energy, and money. What are you investing into your business right now? So in this case, this hair salon, you have a front store, like you walk where people walk in. What is that doing? What is the time, energy, and money you're putting into that? And what are you able to do with the new scenarios of the lockdown rules? And when they open up, what are you going to do? All right, so we put this into play. What's the time, energy, and money on that, and what's your return on investment? That's step 3. So we're going to do this repeat for the online now, and we're going to say in step 2, hey, what have I done for time, energy, and money as an investment into online? And what do I need to do to make it succeed? We need to sit down and actually figure that out. And then what is the return on investment? That's step 3. So we have step 1, 2, 3, and they work in line for any aspect of the business. Now we have to also look at this from a perspective of personal. Okay. And we have to say to ourselves, where are we at? Let's go to a professional and let's ask, what is our loan structure opportunity like? What is our mortgages on our homes if we have them look like? What happens if I can't pay my rent? What happens if this, that? Figure that out. Then let's look at our time, energy, and money and what we're investing into our time, energy, and money for our personal lives. You're going to have a family. You're going to have friends. You're going to have, your kids, this, that. What does that look like? Right? And what do you need to invest into that time, energy, and money wise? And then you're going to say to yourself, what's the return of investment in all these things? And you're going to make a list and you're going to say to yourself, what is the best opportunity for me right now to succeed? So in this example, the actual storefront may need to be just let go right now and say to yourself, I'm going to look at how I can restructure everything to, pay a bare minimum on the bills, this, that, and go to invest in my online and start doing ads and start pushing the online. Or it might be that I'm going to look at my space right now. I'm going to ask myself, how am I structured? Because with hair salons, you can have so many different strategies on how you are making money off each chair and, who's working in there. And now you can look at it and say, when we open up, how do we open up and how do we maximize the opportunity? You've already done it once. So you must have gone through some learning experiences and you looked at other people and you must be saying, what have other people done? Now let's think about what I can do different and make a list on that. So there's options here. So we look at all these and we say, what is the best return on investment? This is what we would be doing with anybody. We would come up with the best case scenarios. And then we would say, okay, what's our plan moving forward? And what is our timeline? How does our budget look? And then what do we actually need to achieve in order to get to where we need to be? And let's set up our goals and let's put accountability measures into play. That's what we're doing. So you're moving from getting the actual reality into play, from getting somebody to help you with that, pay it. It's critical. And then jumping over to this idea of time, energy, and money, the investment of it, and what is your return of investment on all aspects, from business to personal, all the different scenarios. Sit down, take your emotions out of it, and then look at it and say to yourself, let's make a plan and let's move on it. What is the plan? Now, you might do all of this and you might go to that consultant, you might go to that banker, you might go to that one person that's going to tell you the truth. And the truth might be, here's your plan of what you can do after you get the information and you go through this process and you say to yourself, this is the plan, and it's a risk factor is too high and you might not be able to move forward with it. Then the question becomes, is it worth proceeding? Will your return on investment be big enough for you to continue in this path, or is it time to shut down? Figure out how to implement an exit strategy over the next 6 months, get out, and start focusing your time, energy, and money into an investment, investing it into something that's actually going to bring back a good return on investment. That's it. You need to look at this realistically. It might be that case. We have worked with people that we're like, you're not going to make it. We analyzed their business and it was like clear cut, you're not making it. And they're like, I need to make a push for it. It's your choice. Yes, go do it. If that's what you need to do, go do it. I understand. Right? And then what ended up happening, they regretted it because they didn't make it. And the pain was worse. They had to shut down in a worse way. They didn't have an exit strategy. They didn't get out of it in a way where they had mitigated all the big risks and just had to deal with the smaller ones. That being said, we don't know until we see. And it could be that you just hang on and pay the rent and get through this. You restructure everything and off you go when things get back to better. It's not going to be a normal we used to have. It's just a question, is it going to get back to better and to a place where we can operate? So when I'm looking at this and you're asking, and anybody who's asking, with anything that's failing right now as a business, just look at it from in perspective to bigger corporations. When they say we're going to just shut down, close the doors to these stores, they're calculating everything and they're putting it into perspective of return on investment. And what are they seeing with the return on investment? And they're not being emotional about it. We need to do that as humans too. And if we can do that, success will start to come. Better decisions will start to come. This is a learning experience. Who knows? You might shut this down. If you do it in an orderly, structured way where you can get away from having big situations, financially especially, from it, who knows? Maybe everything starts to head in a good direction after this vaccine comes out and everything starts to work. And maybe in a year or two, you're opening up another salon and you're right back at it. Or it might be that somebody has successfully grown through this whole process and, you're working for them, and you're making more money because you don't have those overhead expenses. Or maybe you take your online e-commerce store, close down everything, and you say, I'm just going to focus on that and just sell products and make a push, make a Amazon account, throw your stuff into Amazon as well, and just, do all the ads and just push product. And all of a sudden, only that's what you do. How we look at opportunities is all based on what we look at as our wanting for that end result. It's a perspective thing. And you look at it and you say, what's the actual realistic idea behind it, which is the return on investment, calculated, that makes logical sense, and then the emotional side. And you're putting them all together. And you're saying, what do I want as a result? And if the emotional side is winning, we tend to make more mistakes. And we tend to lose out more often than not. It's just simple economics of life. That's what happens. It happens in business. It happens in our personal lives. It happens with our family, with our friends, with our kids. It happens with our spouses or significant others. It happens with everything. Because we're emotional on situations and we can't make the right decision at the right time. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit that like button if you like what you see. Of course, hit subscribe button and leave your comment below. Are you in this situation? Have you been in this situation? What do you recommend when somebody comes to you and has this discussion? What do you think should be done? And, write it in a positive way. So that somebody is going through this, watching this video, and they read your comment. They might relate, and who knows? You might help change a life. Don't forget, these 2 videos, they're going to help. So check them out.